What's going on, you nutritional crusaders? Crusader Actual here, and today we're gonna look at something a little different today. So today I'm gonna cover a nutritionist that's has a little bit of a following on YouTube. Her name is Autumn Bates. She's a certified nutritionist, has a bunch of other things. I'll let her explain her certification so I don't mess those up. I do want to give credit where credit is due. But her channel revolves mainly around providing nutritional advice to her followers or viewers or whatever. Now, I will say, after watching a couple of her videos, I have seen her popped up on other fitness YouTubers' channels. She has received a lot of flack from quite a few people. Other YouTubers have covered her, namely, to name one right off the top of my head, Greg Doucette has. Definitely another interesting video to watch from him as well. I'll link in the description below if you want to check that out for a second opinion that's not just my own. But yeah, in this video, she provides 20 easy ways to lose 20 pounds. And to stop doing these things. So we'll take a look at these, see if I agree with them, see if I don't agree with them, and maybe where we can find some common ground. Just before I get into the video, though, I want to highlight that I am not an expert on nutrition. I'm certainly not satisfied. I did not get my bachelor's degree in nutrition or anything like that. So take my word for what you will. Basically, all of my opinions have come from my experience that I've had in bodybuilding and just my fitness journey as a whole and the things I've done throughout my life when it comes to diet and nutrition. Of course, like I said, you're welcome to form your own opinions. Autumn Bates does make good quality videos, puts out a lot of information. Of course, there's shameless ad plugs and stuff like that that might influence some of her recommendations or tips to lose weight. That's just my opinion, by the way. Let's take a look at her tips and see what she has to say. So before we beginning, of course, check out my Instagram at Crusader_actual. Also, feel free to check out my link in the description below if you want 20% off of Redcon1 products. Use my code, click the link below. Any of those things will work for you. Just remember, of course, at the end of the day, supplements from supplement companies are just that. They are just supplements. They are to supplement your workout. Taking them will not magically change you, make you stronger, make you better, any of those things. They have to be applied on top of a consistent training schedule and or consistent diet. So just keep that in mind always when buying supplements. All right, guys, with all that being said, let's get into the video. All right, here we go. 20 easy ways to lose 20 pounds. Stop doing these things. Let's see what they have to say, guys.
Today we're diving into 20 things you can stop doing to help you lose 20 pounds. And the first is to stop eating after dinner. Eating too close to bed can actually hinder your sleep quality, and poor quality sleep directly increases your hunger hormone ghrelin the very next day. Plus, the evening is when we're more insulin resistant, meaning that anything...
So I think there's a lot of pseudoscience here. I mean, there might be science that backs this up, but nothing that I think... Like, obviously you shouldn't have like a huge meal right before you go to bed. That will disrupt your sleep. But I mean, obviously, use your best judgment. I don't think anyone's having like huge meals before they go to bed for the most part. Like, that's kind of a gimme. But there's nothing wrong with having like a snack or something like that before bed. No issues there.
What we consume right before bed is more likely to be stored anyway. So just by stopping the snacks after dinner, you can significantly help to achieve your weight loss goal. Which, if you're new here, my name's Autumn.
And also on the flip side, if you starve yourself, if you're hungry and you starve yourself, go to bed, wake up, you're going to be super hungry in the morning too.
I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition human performance. The second one is huge if you're a parent, and that's to stop eating your kids' snacks.
Okay, obviously this is common sense too. Like, kids' snacks are like, I mean, it depends what you get them, right? Like, I'm not a parent, right? So I can't speak on any of this, but I mean, who doesn't love dinosaur nuggets, right? Like, those are the shit. Like, obviously those things aren't super great in terms of calories and stuff like that. So I think a lot of the differences you're going to see between opinions of myself and maybe her are I'm more calorie focused and she seems to be more keto focused. I think keto's her thing based on how she talks and what she pushes. So I think in previous videos she's been very harsh and like has a bad view on carbs, which I don't think there's anything wrong with carbs. I just think there's something wrong with eating in a surplus of calories.
I know. I see this with a lot of my clients. Kid snacks are so tempting because they typically are so refined, overly processed, and high in sugar. So they can be quite...
Oh, I'm sorry. That was embarrassing. My dongle was hanging out of my helmet.
Addictive and hard to pass up. But these higher sugar kid snacks tend to really spike the storing hormone insulin and cause the body to shift out of a state of fat burning. And
a body out of the state of fat burning? What? Okay, I don't know if, okay.
Kind of a win-win situation for this is to stock your pantry with snacks that are actually going to be better for you as well as your kids. So things like parm crisps, nut butters, or even cheese sticks. All of these are going to be much lower in sugar, better for your kids as well as for your weight loss goals.
Okay, yeah, this is a gimme. Okay.
The third is to stop eating a banana for breakfast.
Stop eating a banana. Okay.
I know it's easy for a grab-and-go breakfast option, but bananas have no protein in it, and you need protein to prevent snacking later in the day. You also...
Okay, well, protein, just how your body digests protein, right? Protein is more satiating for the body. So typically, if you have a higher protein diet, you're less likely to feel as hungry throughout the day. But if you want a fucking banana, have a banana. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think she's just, like, trying to be, like, mainly as, like, your full breakfast, which... A banana is what, like 100 calories or 120 calories, depending on the size of the banana, right? So obviously having just 150 calories for breakfast for the average person is pretty rough and wouldn't recommend that. It's just going to cause you, like, it's not filling enough for a full day before maybe your next meal, depending on how your meals are structured throughout the day. Like, that's hard. I couldn't do that. I couldn't just have a, banana right in the morning before I go train and then, like, wait 4 or 5 hours to eat again. Like, that'd be tough. That'd be tough for anyone. So have more than just a banana, obviously. But if you want a banana, have a banana. There's nothing wrong with having banana with your breakfast or having banana as a snack.
You need it for a body recomposition goal. In fact, it's the most important food source for achieving a body recomposition goal, which is where you're losing fat, but you're maintaining or even increasing muscle mass, which therefore even helps to maintain your metabolism.
Yes, you do need protein, but you can have a banana. It is okay. Most people hit their protein goals anyway throughout the day. Like, there's a lot of bro science that goes around, right? Like, that you need a gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? So like me being 180 pounds, that insinuates that I need 180 grams of protein throughout the day. More often than not, you're gonna hit that depending on how your diet is. Maybe if you're vegetarian, it's a little tougher to get that because there's a lot of proteins and meats and stuff like that. So it's a little more difficult. But if that's truly the argument here, then just say like, hey, like, have more protein throughout the day. Like, that's the tip, right? Because like I already said, protein's more satiating.
Metabolism as well. And unfortunately, bananas just don't have any protein. The fourth thing to stop doing is getting an afternoon coffee. I love coffee. That's quite obvious at this point. But having an afternoon coffee can end up disrupting your sleep quality. Even if you...
Yeah, back to the sleep, but also, I mean, depending on where you're getting coffee from, like I've talked about this in other videos, like it is real easy to mess up coffee and make it have a lot of calories. Like I was very bad about getting like mocha frappuccinos and all that crazy stuff before I started learning all about calories and all this stuff, which is like packed with calories if you get those from like Starbucks or whatever, right? Like all the whipped cream, all the sugars, all the chocolate that's in it, whatever. Afternoon coffee is fine. Like I try not to have coffee if it's past like 2 or 3 p.m. Like that's my cutoff. Like, I don't mind having a coffee like in the morning and maybe one around lunch or something like that. That doesn't mess with me. Everyone's sensitivity is different when it comes to caffeine. Everyone's different, right? I would just recommend using full calorie sweeteners, full calorie like milk, like all that stuff. Like try to use lower calorie options when you're making coffee. If you don't like it black, right? Like if you like black coffee, like more power to you. You're a better person than me. I'm a baby when it comes to coffee. I can't do black coffee.
No problem falling asleep after having caffeine. It's likely decreasing your sleep quality and making you spend less time in deep, high quality sleep. Let me find 7 more times to say high quality. And bad sleep can lead to higher stress hormone cortisol levels the very next day, which actually makes it harder to lose weight around the belly. Now the fifth thing,
I don't agree with that really, because I've talked about it too. There's no scientific way you cannot target certain parts of your body and target that fat. Like I can't do something and be like, oh, this is targeting strictly my belly fat or my leg fat or my lower back fat or my butt fat. Like that's not how it works. Your body loses fat differently. I think I talked to one of you about this, that me personally, when it came time for bodybuilding competitions, like the last place I lose fat is in my legs. My legs on my body, like I retain fat there. I can't target it. It's just like after being in a calorie deficit for a long period of time, like it slowly just comes off. And usually when I get down to certain body fat percentages, then like that's when the fat on my legs starts to come off more and more. So that's a hard area for me to get, but there's no way to target it, right? So everyone's just genetically different at the end of the day. That's how it is.
The thing to stop doing is eating breakfast sandwiches. First of all, these are really low in protein. Usually it only has...
So it depends what you're talking about. Are you talking about these stupid like Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches? While they may be good, I think that's a poor example. Like, why are we talking so much about low in protein? Like, You can make anything have protein. You want a good breakfast sandwich? Here you go. Get some free, I'm just thinking this off the top of my head. Freaking low calorie bread, like the Sara Lee 40 calorie bread. Like, do some of that. Cook up a bunch of egg whites. Egg whites are high in protein. Put some turkey sausage in there. There's protein in there, low fat in that. You know, you can add a bunch of things in there to add protein to anything, especially a breakfast sandwich. A breakfast sandwich is a no-brainer. Like, that's easy to do. Like egg whites. Make everything with egg whites. You can have so much like I'm talking about breakfast stuff. If you want breakfast sandwich, use a ton of egg white. Egg whites have a lot of protein in it.
Has maybe a third of what you actually need from that meal, but it's also higher in refined grains that will really spike your storing
depending on what you get.
So you get lower protein, higher.
Like, this is my problem, and I think this is a lot of people's problems with her, is like the blanket statements. You have to be very specific, especially when you're talking about this stuff, because there's so many different ways to do things. There's so many different ways to lose weight. Like, you have to be specific, right? Or else you're going to mislead a lot of people. You're going to scare people from not having breakfast sandwiches. We're like, no, you can have a breakfast sandwich. It's just how you prepare it, how you make it, right? Now, if you're going and getting a breakfast sandwich from like McDonald's or Starbucks, yeah, don't do that. Then she's right here. But, you know, maybe I'm being a little bit pedantic, but I just want to make y'all aware of that.
Higher refined grains. Definitely not a winning combination when you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal. If you're on the go, you're much better off getting the Starbucks egg bites versus the breakfast sandwiches that are often sold.
Because they're made with egg whites.
Okay, the sixth thing to stop doing is drinking juice. Even healthy juices like green juices often have a lot of fruit juice in it, and this comes packed with a lot of sugar. Or even something like orange juice, which yes, maybe has some vitamin C, but it has the equivalent of getting like a Starbucks vanilla latte when it comes to sugar content. You're better off eating your fruit than you are drinking it. Okay,
so that's a good tip, right? Like, yeah, juices are tough. I don't really drink a lot of juices, except if I'm having mimosas, right? Then I have orange juice. Juices notoriously have a lot of calories in them because they have a lot of sugar. It's interesting listening to her perspective because she doesn't talk calories at all. Like, she's very macros based and like sugar's bad, blah, blah, all these things, and like, sure, whatever. Just have juice in moderation, right? Like, juice does have a lot of calories. Juices are typically not great if you're trying to remain in a calorie deficit. So yes, I agree with her on that.
The seventh thing to stop doing is watching TV before bed. When you watch
this isn't even like a nutritional
TV
thing.
Right before bed, it exposes your eyes to light and tells your body that it's daytime. This shuts off your sleep hormone melatonin from being
Then you just take melatonin.
produced, which leads to that poor quality sleep and all those issues that happen the very next day as a result. Okay, the eighth thing to stop doing is adding sugar to all drinks.
Yeah, that's a gimme. Right, like, obviously. There's plenty of different things you can add to your drinks. Like, I've already talked about, like, if you like Equal, Splenda, you know, was it stevia? Yeah, like that stuff. Like, add those to your drinks if you want something sweet, or do diet sodas and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Autumn Bates hates diet sodas, but it's okay. Like, these things are okay. Artificial sweeteners are okay for you to have. If you're not trying to step on stage for a bodybuilding competition, you're just trying to lose weight regularly, like just trying to look a little bit better, there's nothing wrong with having, you know, artificial sweeteners or diet sodas and stuff like that. I mean, shit, I even competed and drank these things, and I placed pretty well on shows. I did all right.
Think things like coffee or tea. Not only is this added sugar, but it's also sugar in a liquid form, which means it's absorbed really quickly and can cause a really big spike in our storing hormone insulin. Common sweetened coffees at places like Starbucks are usually going to range anywhere between 30 to 60 grams of sugar.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I mean, obviously, like, I mean, maybe some people don't know that, but I mean, look it up. Drinks in Starbucks obviously are not very good. Like, they do have a lot of sugars. They're tasty. They're riddled with sugar. You're better off making your coffee and stuff at home.
Don't believe me? Go check out their nutrition facts. It is nuts how much sugar is in those drinks. Okay, the ninth thing to stop doing is eating pasta and pizza.
Okay, I'll hear her out.
Or at least traditional pasta and pizza, and on a daily basis. These are both high in refined carbohydrates that really spike the storing hormone insulin and work directly against your weight loss goal.
You can have it in moderation. It's not a big deal. There's plenty of other types of pastas to have. Like, oh my gosh, I've told y'all about like new pasta and stuff like that, right? I'll pull it up again probably. But like, you can have your pasta. It's fine. You just have to have things in moderation. You can have pizza too, just in moderation. Or you can prepare things differently or choose different options. There's cauliflower pizzas, which are lower calorie. I've told y'all about how I make my pizzas with like flat out wraps, you know, fat-free cheese, turkey pepperoni. Like, it's easy. You can make things low calorie so you don't have to give up the things you like. Because if you restrict yourself too much, you're going to binge or you're going to have a hard time sticking to any sort of diet. It cannot be too restrictive. There's give and take, right?
It's also low in protein, plus because both...
The low in protein, dude. Okay, have chicken pasta. Have new pasta with, you know, a low-calorie sauce and a ton of chicken. Boom, there's your protein, and it's lower calorie than regular pasta. With pizza, you know, flat out wraps. The flat out, you know, has protein in it. Turkey pepperoni has protein in it. Fat-free cheese has protein in it. Like, you're gonna get your protein. She's very bent out of shape about protein, but I promise you, you're gonna get enough protein in for the day.
Both pizza and pasta are typically going to be rich in fat as well as refined carbohydrates. It can have a really addictive nature to it and make it easy to eat beyond our body's needs.
Okay, yeah, anything that tastes good. Okay.
Instead, you can try alternatives like cauliflower crust pizza or hearts of palm pasta. Those are both less starchy options, so you can kind of like have your pizza and eat it too.
New pasta. Do new pasta. Oh my god.
Okay, the 10th thing to stop doing is drinking.
Of course, dude. These dietitians always want to come after diet soda. Like it's like the bane of their existence.
Diet soda. Even though it says diet, and even though it is technically 0 calorie, many artificial sweeteners can often be just as detrimental to weight loss goals as just regular sugar.
It's not, because guess what's gonna happen? Like, if you're trying to limit your calories, right? You're trying to be in a calorie deficit, and you're feeling hungry. You know what I do? I have a diet soda because it stops me from eating more, right? The carbonation, everything, and the liquid, whatever, fills up my stomach, right? It you know, convinces my ghrelin hormone, right? The ghrelin that's convincing me that I'm hungry. It helps suppress it and make me be like, okay, I'm not hungry anymore because my stomach's full of something. It's got the carbonation, all that stuff like that kind of works into the positive effect in that regard. Diet soda is okay. I really want to convince y'all that it's okay. If you don't take anything away from my videos, I promise you it's okay. Like I said, like the only argument you might have against it is if you're gonna step on stage for a bodybuilding competition, and none of you really need to worry about that unless you're just diehard competitor. Then you should be listening to people smarter than I am. But if we're just talking about regular weight loss for the average human, you can have diet soda and it's gonna be okay.
If you need a soda, try something that's sweetened with monk fruit or stevia, which tend to do better for the body when it comes to weight loss goals. So clearly sweetened drinks can be a really big problem, and a lot of
0 calories is better than having 200 calories. You know, you can't convince me otherwise.
people are getting their sugar from coffee or
If you're talking about
so
fat
instead of
loss
spending a ton
or
of
weight
money
loss.
on sugar sweetened teas that are really working against your weight loss goal, you can really easily make your own homemade 0 sugar options with today's
Oh, it's the plug. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, she's trying to plug her sponsor. Got it. Okay.
below. Dessert in the house. It's
Okay, yeah, so desserts in this house. So we just skipped right into it because her plug was long as hell. Yeah, obviously desserts in the house is not good. Like, yeah, desserts, like anything sweet like that, for me, if you're me, extremely tempting. That's why I don't keep sweet things or like desserts or stuff like that in the house, because I'll eat it. I love sweet things. So, I mean, the best rule of thumb, right, is out of sight, out of mind. Like, if you don't see it, right, if you don't have it around to see it, you're gonna not be tempted to do it, right? And just nature, how we are as humans, you know, we can be pretty lazy. So, like, if I'm craving some kind of dessert, I'm sure, and it's not in the house, I'm probably not gonna make the effort to go out and get it. Like, to me, the cost benefit analysis of that isn't worth it.
It's one thing to have dessert or a treat meal on the weekend, but it's something else entirely to have this in your house. When you have it in your house, you're constantly having to say no to having a dessert every
this is a
single
good
day
point.
because it's so easily accessible, because it's in your house. This can cause decision fatigue from you constantly having to say no. It makes it so much easier to give in to eating those desserts during the week when you weren't intending to. So instead, if you're going to have dessert, make it a weekend treat and make sure to just keep it out of the house. Okay, the 12th thing to stop doing is taking ketone drinks. These won't...
I have no idea. I think it confirms my thought that she might be keto. I think keto's her big focus. So I don't know anything about ketone drinks. You're not going to really hear anything from me on this. If you guys know anything about ketone drinks, like, please feel free to talk about below or your experiences with
not
that.
necessarily hurt your weight loss progress, but they won't really help your progress, and they're really expensive. Instead, you can naturally raise your own ketone levels by burning your own fat as a fuel source by using intermittent fasting, which
Intermittent fasting, dude, I will never agree with, right? Because, like, look, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what's in your body. Your body's going to use, whether it's carbs, protein, fat, whatever. It's going to find a source of energy to use when it's doing something, right? Having this idea that, oh, if I just intermittent fast, I'm specifically going to target fat. Like, no, you're not, dude. Like it does not work that way. And what intermittent fasting does is it's going to cause you, like, if you are not strict or dedicated or disciplined, I think it's extremely easy to lead to binges because you're purposely limiting yourself from eating for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden you have this window to eat, and you're going to want to eat a lot because you're just fucking hungry, right? Like, this is common sense, and this is like, I thought the same way. I thought intermittent fasting was like a smart thing to do, and I tried it, and it was bad, dude. Like, it did not work for me. It led to me wanting to eat a fuck ton in a small period of time. If you eat regular meals throughout the day, like, they don't have to be big, right? Like, have just small meals throughout the day. Get that feeling of satiation throughout the day, and then you're gonna have a natural fast when you go to sleep to when you wake up in the morning. Because what do you call your first meal of the day traditionally, right? Breakfast. You're breaking a fast. Breakfast, right? So that is a natural fast, so I don't know why you'd force yourself to do that multiple times. To me, it doesn't make sense. I would recommend against it. I would recommend doing multiple small meals throughout the day and maintaining a level of satiation, right?
But you can check out how long intermittent fasting takes to work with this video right here. Also have it linked down description below. Okay, the 13th thing to stop doing is to stop eating keto treats.
I don't know anything about this either.
Keto treats combine sweet flavor, even though it's not technically sugar. It's still really sweet with higher levels of fat. This combination of sweet and high fat makes it really easy to achieve that.
Which means high calorie. Anything high in fat, because fats have the most calories over the other macros, right? So, like, you have your fats, your carbs, proteins. Proteins and carbs, right, are 4 calories per gram, where fats are 9 calories per gram.
Bliss point.
So obviously anything that has more fat in it is going to not help you with weight loss because it's going to have more calories.
Highly addictive, makes it super easy to eat beyond your body.
And it's not a satiation. It's not a satiating, and I don't know the science behind it, right? But your body stores, I think your body has an easier time, you know, obviously turning fat you ingest into fat. Like, it just processes easier, so it's not satiating. Where proteins take I think, like proteins and fibers and stuff like that take more effort to digest and are more satiating, I think. But where, like, proteins are more satiating, they keep you full longer.
Needs. Now, a lot of these keto treats will definitely be better options than traditional desserts, but it's still not something that you'll be wanting.
But you'd be surprised too, dude, because I've showed y'all, dude. I've showed y'all in one of my previous videos, like, here is a, you know, some protein bar, right? Or some stupid, like, meal replacement bar or something like that. Here's a Snickers bar. They weigh the same, they have similar macros, they have the same calories, right? So you really have to be cognizant of what's in this stuff, because some of this shit's bad, dude. Like, you're better off having a freaking candy bar than some of this other stuff, because the fats are the same, the sugars are the same, the calories are the same. It can get pretty ridiculous if you're not paying attention. And you can easily, like blunder your weight loss progress if you have some of these bullshit, like, meal replacement bars or whatever.
Wanting to have on a daily basis. Okay, the 14th thing to stop doing is having sitting meetings.
Okay, well, some people, do we have the same ring? Oh no. Okay. Some of this stuff you can't control. Like, like in my job, like, I'm in meetings a lot throughout the week. Like, I have a ton of meetings a week. And I'm not going to be like, all right, guys, we're fucking standing for all these meetings. Like, like, my commander would just, like, slap me across the face probably. So this is something you can't really control, and honestly is not going to make that much of a difference. Like, I mean, I'm one of those guys that stands at work, or I try to stand at work, like standing desk and all that stuff. But, like, it's comfortable to me. I don't like sitting all day. That's just a personal thing. I don't know if that would directly influence my weight loss whatsoever. Like, maybe a little bit, but not as much as, you know, maintaining a strict diet, maintaining a decent diet, maintaining a consistent gym schedule, and maintaining consistent cardio, stuff like that. So
this is really if you have control over your meetings.
Yeah.
If possible, make it a walking meeting. I know it's not possible for everyone, but if you're able to, it really helps to
a walking meeting? What?
break up the sedentary.
Hey, dude, pick up your laptop. I need someone to click slides, and we're gonna walk a mile while we're doing this meeting.
Moments throughout the day, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it really adds up. Okay, the 15th thing to stop doing is
we're only at 15. Oh my
cheat
god.
Days. And I'm heavily emphasizing the days section. There's a difference between cheat days and treat meals.
Why is she? I don't know if it's like a wording, like psychological distinction, saying cheat meals and a treat meal. Anyway, yeah, obviously, dude, cheat days can be really bad. Like, we've seen the stupid YouTubers that do, like, I'm gonna eat 10,000 calories in one day, blah, 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 treat day, or, like, bodybuilders that do, like, their, cheat meal days. They're, like, fucking crazy amounts of calories, but these dudes are all taking a ton of gear and, can handle it.
A cheat day is a whole day of likely really refined or really sugary foods. And this can be really hard to recover from and really not make you feel great the next day. And all those compounding refined sugars and starches can even increase your cravings for even more of those foods the next day as well. What I found works best is having a treat meal versus a whole day.
Or just call it a cheat meal.
I shared my whole strategy on this. I'll also have that video linked down description below as well as right here if you want to check that out. Okay, the 16th thing to stop doing is counting calories.
So you already know, if you watch me for a long time, I'm gonna die on this hill, dude. Like, no, counting calories, like, there's so many apps for it. It's so easy to do. Let's just hear what she has to say.
Just counting general calories takes away the emphasis on one of the most important things when it comes to achieving a body recomposition goal, which is protein. If you're going to count anything, making sure that you're actually getting enough protein for your body's needs can really help to mitigate hunger, really help to reduce cravings, and has been found to significantly help achieve a body recomposition goal.
Okay, so yeah, that's a lot of bullshit. So again, I told you, you're probably going to get your protein needs just daily eating. Like, I've never been in a position where I felt like I never was eating enough protein. Even if I wasn't monitoring what I was doing, like tracking anything, like I probably still got my protein in, right? Like, it's very easy to do that. There's protein in a lot of things depending on your diet, right? Again, too, I said maybe if you're vegetarian, it's kind of tough. But there's so many ways to do that. Like, and saying like, oh, if you count calories, you're not going to get enough protein. It's like, so what? I just eat a ton of protein, and the next thing I know, I actually had, 4,000 calories, but it was all fats and carbs mainly I was eating. But it's okay though, because I got my 160, 180 grams of protein, but I overate a fuck ton. Like, no, dude, like, that's going to mess up your body composition. That is going to mess up your weight loss. Guys, like, I'm telling you, like I just said, there's so many apps, there's so many ways you can track calories. It is easy. Like, is MyFitnessPal, which is what I use, right? Is MyFitnessPal going to be 1,000% accurate? Like, no, there's going to be some give there. It may not be, but it's going to get you within a good range. Just like every day, it doesn't matter. Your body's going to burn different calories each day. Like me making a video, moving my arms, stuff like that. Like, I'm burning calories doing that. Like, you're going to do things throughout your day that are going to change the amount of calories you burn. So it's okay if nothing's 100% accurate, but I think these apps and stuff give you an opportunity to track these things fairly realistically, where you can actually monitor your progress and lose weight. So yeah, guys, I'm telling you, I think calories are the way to go, because if you gain weight, you're in a calorie surplus, you're over your basal metabolic rate, like, and then if you're trying to lose weight, you got to be in a calorie surplus below your base calories, right? So that's it. That's all there is to do. Like, people aren't gonna like this that I say this, but it is true. Like, it is a way to do things. It's not a smart way to do it, and you will feel like shit doing it. But if you're trying to lose weight, say your base calories are 2,500, and you eat 2,000 calories worth of Oreo cookies a day for a couple months, like, you're gonna lose weight. Like, you're not gonna feel good. Your body's probably gonna look not ideal, but you're gonna be skinnier, you're gonna be lighter, gonna lose weight. I know that's like a horrible representation, but I'm saying, like, that's how calories work. Like, calorie surplus, gain weight, calorie deficit, lose weight. That's it. The
17th thing to stop doing is drinking energy drinks. These are so insanely high in sugar.
Okay, then have sugar-free ones. There's plenty of sugar-free options. I drink energy drink, guys, and I feel like I look okay. I feel like I maintain a good weight. I have abs, I have these things, and I drink energy drinks. They're okay. You can find 0, 10-calorie energy drinks. I drink the Alani energy drinks because I think they're really good and they're only 10 calories. And I don't care about artificial sweeteners. They don't bother me.
More than you probably realize. Have you looked before? It's nuts. A small can of Monster has nearly 30 grams of sugar.
Don't buy the full sugar ones. And I'm telling you guys, like, I do, like, with my job, like, I'm pretty active with my work too. Like, my job requires me to be fit. I'm very active. I'm expected to perform at a certain level, and energy drinks don't hinder me from performing at that level.
Cut this out alone, and this significantly brings down your insulin spikes. Okay, the 8th.
But I will agree with her. Yes, the sugar energy drinks are fucking terrible. Don't do those.
15th thing to stop doing is eating every 2 hours. When you eat more frequently, it keeps your insulin spiked throughout the day. This makes it a lot more difficult for your body to switch back into a state of fat burning. Plus, if you're actually eating enough
No state of fat burning.
protein at every meal, you really shouldn't be hungry for at least 4 hours anyway. Okay, the next
I mean, everyone's different, but yeah, I mean, like, I typically eat every 3 to 4 hours, right? So that's just what's comfortable for me. I think maybe 2 hours is just a stretch to get an extra tip in here. So maybe you don't need to eat every 2 hours. If you're staying under calories and you feel all right, like, go for it, dude. I'm not going to tell you different.
19th thing to stop doing is eating foods that don't work for you. Broccoli, cauliflower, those are all great, but some people's GI tract just doesn't work with it. And fermented dairy products are really rich in...
Okay, obviously, like, if I'm lactose intolerant or, like, have irritable bowel syndrome or whatever, like, I'm going to stay away from foods that trigger those things. Like, no, dude, like, oh man, I had, like, when I was a kid, I was allergic to shellfish, right? Like, I wasn't just gonna eat shellfish though, because my throat would close up, my face would swell up. Like, obviously I'm not gonna eat things that, like, fuck up my body.
Protein. But some people are allergic and it's not going to work for them either. Just because something works for someone else, it does not mean that it's 100% going to work for you.
This is true. That is, like, one of the most true things she said this entire time.
So eat the foods that make you feel good, not someone else. Okay, the 20th
But don't drink Diet Coke, don't drink energy drinks, don't eat a fucking banana for breakfast, yada yada yada. You guys know what I mean.
thing to stop doing is using a scale to measure your progress.
Oh, okay. I thought she was about to say a food scale. I was about to, like, just flip my table and leave.
Talking weight loss, we're not talking weight, we're talking body fat. Because just losing weight could be weight from your muscle.
Okay, but this says 20 easy ways to lose 20 pounds. That's the name of this video, right? Am I wrong? This is the name of the video, not 20 ways to lose 20% body fat, or, you know, you know what I mean? Like, to have a better body composition, right? This is 20 easy ways to lose 20 pounds. So we are talking about weight here.
Could be weight from your bones, could be water weight, or it could be fat. And when you're just looking at a scale, it's only accounting for your general weight. It's not helping you to determine if you've lost weight from your muscle, your bone, body fat, or water.
Okay, yeah, obviously, but that's on you. Like, you know your own body. Like, I weigh myself once a week, right? And other than that, like, I look at my body day to day and I'm like, okay, how do I look? Like, because I know how I look, right? So I can notice that if things change or get worse or get better. So that's how I keep on track. But I do weigh myself once a week. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I think if you focus on the scale every day, that can be a little tough because your weight will fluctuate. Like she said, like water weight, stuff like that, that will fluctuate from day to day. So it's hard to tell. And it might send a less knowledgeable person into, like, a panic mode and thinking they need to restrict themselves even more, which can be detrimental and not healthy and just make you suffer, which you don't need to do. If you're suffering, there's better ways.
Water. And if you are losing bone or if you are losing muscle mass, this can actually make your metabolism start to decrease and make it harder to achieve a weight loss goal. So I always
Yeah, I mean, if you have more muscle, your metabolism's typically higher. Like, you burn more calories with more muscle. That's just how it is.
recommend keeping track of body fat and muscle mass instead of just overall weight. If you have access to something like the InBody, a lot of gyms will have this.
But a lot of people don't, though. That's the thing. So
this is one of my favorite methods. It's one of the more accurate options. Of course, DEXA scan is the gold standard, but that tends to be pretty expensive.
yeah, I was like, who's getting access to DEXA scans all the time?
But at the very least, even at-home body fat scales can at least give you an idea of trends, although it's going to be the least accurate option. Now make sure to check out the 10 foods you should eat if you're looking to lose belly fat with
Oh, I hate that she plugged that. No, guys, that's such disinformation. Like, you cannot target specific parts of your body to lose weight. It does not work that way. Please don't believe that. It's misinformation. Don't listen to that. She's clearly wanting clicks and views because, I mean, anything you talk about with, like, changing how your body looks and losing weight, people are going to click the shit out of. And she seems very respectable. I'll talk about it in my outro.
this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you
Okay, no, we're done with this video, so I'll talk about it now. Look, guys, the point of this video, right, I'm not trying to shit on this woman and say her credentials are bad or say that she's stupid, whatever. She made some good points. There's a lot of things I don't agree with, and so that's what I want to open up to y'all to be aware of, right? Like, look at other people, like, watch other people's videos. Like, I know there's a lot of information out there. I get it. There is a lot of information. And why should you believe me over someone like this that's obviously more qualified? But these are things that I try and that I've done, that I've practiced. I've seen other people try and practice and do that's very popular in the bodybuilding world, which is about, very heavily about weight loss, right? And, like, maintaining strict diets and training properly, treating your body right? And minus dehydrating and the stuff you do before you get on stage, right? So just because someone has fancy degrees and like has all this blah, 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 whatever, like you still need to check things out for yourself. Feel things out for yourself. Take a lot of it on yourself to learn and get better, because that's what I did, right? I looked at other people's opinions and tried different things and learned and found what worked for me. And that's what I urge you guys to do, because I think a lot of people like this scare other people from doing certain things that might make them suffer more, might make weight loss harder and not as achievable, because they're told like, okay, you can't have pasta, you can't have pizza, you can't have diet soda, you can't have energy drinks, you can't have things that like help sustain you in your day-to-day and help you get through your job, whatever, your work, things like that. So there's so many don'ts, like don't do this, don't do that. And I think it scares a lot of people. And that's just the point of this video, right? Is that I'm trying to target that and trying to show y'all like there are options. There's ways to do things where you can still enjoy the things that you like. You can still eat the things you want, maintain a diet that is consistent, that you can stick with. You don't need to be scared of everything, right? There's so many ways to lose weight. So I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys learned something. Feel free to comment below. Again, check out her videos if you want. I'm not saying she's stupid or dumb. I just, disagree with some of the things that she says. And I think the information she puts out can be potentially dangerous and make people restrict themselves way too much. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all in the next video.